Anything notwithstanding. Anything notwithstanding.
You see, for me to give that
answer the question first.
Please, allow me to speak.
Okay,
allow me speak, please.
We got into a contract with a contractor who did not have the capacity to execute this project. And the recommendation that we are going to recommend is that we blacklist this contractor.
When you think you have done 20%, your supervisor thinks you have done 6%, as we also think you have done 6%, and you want to be paid. That has to be resolved. 3, when you got this contract, there is nowhere written in that contract that when you raise a certificate, you have not been paid, you are still waiting for government budgeting issues, you will stop working.
I'm saying, you know, those like the people who equip the punish are in the same contract.
Which is okay. We can't talk about equipment when the structures are not up. That will come at the tail end. How do you talk about equipping a facility which is non-existent?
Engineer, so that you are consistent,
Yes.
start by stating the specific start date and end date of everything.
Yes.
Not the components. So what
Yeah.
is the start date and end date of everything?
Yes. The same date she advanced.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
2025 or 2026?
2020.
Yeah, that's where the problem is.
2020.
Yeah, you said 2025, but it's 2026.
But let me ask. So we only have, best case scenario, 1 year. We have consumed how many years? We are in the 4th year. We are in the 4th year. Yet we are at 6% activity level. We are at 6%. How are we going to recover the time? And also, just to reinforce my worry, yeah, there was a 20% down payment already made. 20% down payment made against 6% project level. Okay, that is 1. 2, over 50% time consumed against 6% project level. How do we account for that disproportionality?
Let me explain. With the matters of down payment paid, if the contract is defined as a loan given by the employer, guaranteed by the employer with a guarantee, and once we received 50% of it is cash cover for the guarantee of the demand guarantee. Therefore, what came direct to the contractor is half of that amount, which is about 100 million. The contractor mobilized, bought equipment, and started work. The problem started when the contractor raised his first payment, which was raised on 6th of February this year. We raised one totaling to about 100 million. The time given in the contract for the employer to pay, he was supposed to have paid by 3rd April 2025. To date, we have not been paid.
Let me ask, how do you expect the contracting agency to make additional payments on the basis of the milestone you are talking about? While in the argument, they have already paid 20 million shares, 20% advance payment, but the project level is only at 6%. Surely it beats logic.
Allow me explain. The 6% she's talking about, it is not paid on, it is not based on the 20% we are talking about. If we prolong the 150 million over that 4 billion, it won't be 20%. That is the one fact. The second fact is, it is advance payment is normally not a payment. It is captured, you have paid, but it is guaranteed, is a loan that is supposed to be deducted after the contract reaches 30% to 80%. Therefore,
no. It is deducted progressively.
It is the contract.
Listen, if you have been advanced against a bank guarantee, 20% of whichever sum that was agreed, being 20 million, it's recovered progressively from the first. As you get paid, every certificate it's paid progressive. Yeah. You can't wait up to 80%. Then you would have repaid 100%.
Sir, it is in the contract. I'm talking about the contract.
Listen first.
Are you the contractor?
Are you the contractor?
Where is the contractor himself? And I did give instructions that he should be here. Was he reached out to where's the contractor? He's deliberately decided not to turn up.
Mheshimiwa, reduction of advance payment guarantee is gradual from day one of your.
You know, we are not laymen.
And in any case, the first certificate will not be able to absorb the 20% at once.
At once, yeah.
Sir, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But in this contract, the deduction starts at 30% and 90%.
Okay, what you explain first,
yes.
Let's give you time.
Yes.
Explain everything.
Now,
what you explain to boss is this.
Yes.
Listen. I want you to explain to me is how much total money you have been paid, right? Start date and end date, and what percentage you are right now. Without talking about the money, then we'll go to the next stage.
And
the total money
and then, you know, sir, and then it becomes professional. A contractor, you know, sometimes you can even progress without government money anyway.
Yeah.
Depending on your
And
strength.
that's clearly what he's telling me is that they didn't have the capacity for the
That's the biggest mistake.
yeah, when they were
allow me speak.
Kindly explain yourself on those three
If you allow me to explain, you understand where I'm coming from. This is what happened. I have explained we got $1.5 million. It's about 200 million, 199. Half of it is cash guarantee. For the guarantee we issued against the money we received, so we had 99%. To begin with, it was supposed to support cash flow and mobilization. We mobilized, we bought equipment for this project and started working. When we started working, we raised the first certificate, the 2nd of February. Today it has not been paid. We continue.
Please stop it. Yes. Use my guidance to explain this to the board. Before you raised that certificate, which you raised in which month? Where were you percentage-wise?
By that time, we were about 10%.
Within a period of how long?
10, and you're now in 6.
No, for the contract, for the contract.
You know where the problem is?
We have been here several times. This could be the 5th or 6th time we are here. So when you are paid the money you're talking about, I don't think you were even at 4%. Si wakati moja hii mali imekuwa maji tu. Kama umesahau.
Okay, get it like this. You raised a certificate which is still pending. Where were you at the point of raising the certificate? What percentage?
We are about 10%.
Now, today we are on the
structure.
We don't want anything on the structure. We are talking of the entire project percentage. Today we are at
allow me explain.
So we can't be at 10 and coming back. Boss, we are not here to joke today. So explain to us what percentage you are in at the time of raising the certificate.
And that percentage,
that is what we want to know.
That
one is tied. That one is tied.
We are begging 2 issues. Yeah. If I have to go to the finances, I must.
No. Ngoja. Easy.
It's good not to miss.
A moment.
It's good to tell the
truth. A moment.
Because this contract,
this is not the first.
Allow me, please. This contract,
what you have asked, Ngoja. What Mheshimiwa is at what percentage are you? Anything notwithstanding. Anything notwithstanding.
You see, for me to give that
answer the question first.
Please, allow me to speak. Okay, allow me speak, please. If I have to base that, I have to calculate all other contractors what they have been paid for me to pay that contract. Because this contract has 26 contractors. For me, I'm speaking as Q. My contract is 900 against 4 billion. But you see, 900 million against 4 billion. That is the truth of the matter. The others,
who manages
the project has got an overhaul. Is based on an overhaul BQ, isn't it?
No. It is a single. My BQ is 900 million. No, $9 million US. Every subcontractor or contractor has his own BQ and priced and paid separately. That's why I'm saying I can only issue my percentage as Q because I'm not pegged to the other. The other, like
the main contractor.
The main contractor is called the main contractor for the structure. Yes, for the structure.
So the main contractor,
but the contract is 4 billion.
The main
I'm only account for 1 billion.
Listen to. Tutafika tu mahali. Because I don't want you to strain so much. Let us handle it fast. Now, the whole contract is pegged on the main contract.
Not necessarily.
Right, we will note that also. Now, if that is the case, then the main contractor is the one who should be knowing who should be producing the overall percentage work done within that main contract. Right? Madam, can you tell us something about that? Let's understand.
Because we don't seem to be communicating.
What I need to say is, the main contract carries the overall
Responsibility.
Yes.
Because if he works, the others will be able to
What?
work.
The subcontractors cannot work before you meet your obligation.
Yes. Yes, sir.
In fact, as we are talking, some of the contractors have done their bit, but outside there. But they are not able to come in because the
Yes.
structure has not come.
Yeah, the structure is
Main
not out there.
contractor is lagging.
So we are saying we are 6%, including the mobilization of all the
Everything.
That is
That is what you want.
overall.
overall.
Yeah.
And I'm insisting on the overall
Yeah.
because that is what the government is doing.
Yes.
And he's insisting on 10%.
No,
no,
he cannot look at it
You see,
alone.
subcontractors are answerable to you. No, in terms of progress. For example, plumbing works cannot take place before you go up.
The performance
Yeah,
of
the electrical works can
subcontractors,
huwezi kuweka mataa sahi
the
mpaka upande.
That I agree.
the progress of the subcontractors is incumbent upon progress by the main contractor. Are we okay there?
That's we agree.
Yeah. And then?
If
So,
we go-
which means, no, let's just get things clear. If you, as the main contractor, don't make progress, the subcontractors will have no basis to do any work.
Will not make
Because-
progress at all.
Are we okay there also?
That's yeah.
So, in a nutshell, you are stalling the project.
But some of the subcontractors are bought equipment.
Yes.
And they are lying in warehouses.
Yeah.
Waiting for the subcontractor.
Yeah. So depreciation issues will start creeping in. So the main contractor is the one stalling the project. The subcontractors are ready.
So proceed now.
Now,
Let's start from there now.
the biggest issue in this project, and if we want to unlock this project, is finances.
You can't allow that. You can't allow you to say that and go get away with it. Listen here. Before you raised your first certificate, you were lagging behind. We were struggling here. Even the president himself came here. That you are aware.
That agreed.
The issue
You agreed?
here,
Very well. Second, when you raise a certificate where you are claiming higher percentages against your supervisor, that conflict has to be resolved. You can't be paid. When you think you have done 20%, your supervisor thinks you have done 6%, as we also think you have done 6%, and you want to be paid. That has to be resolved. 3, when you got this contract, there is nowhere written in that contract that when you raise a certificate, you have not been paid, you are still waiting for government budgeting issues, you will stop working.
It is here. It is the contract.
You stop working.
It can't say.
It is in the contract.
Stating that you stop
Yes.
working.
Actually, it is there. We can read.
No,
The
first of all,
document is
before-
here.
no,
You
again,
know, the beauty is the document is here and I can open.
You stop working
But-
without
but-
Please,
Are
please.
we
Let us
dealing
use facts.
with a
Because sometimes
hostile
it's good. No, I'm not hostile. It is important. We appreciate this thing, yeah? And when we appreciate, we shall go further. Payment. The amount certified in each interim payment certificate should be paid within 56 days after the engineer received the statement and supporting document.
no, has it been certified?
You-
You know, there's a difference.
It was certified. It was certified.
There's a
And
difference
as it
between
said, stop
certification and raising of
It
the
was
certificate.
certified. We are talking about certified and went for payment.
proceed. No,
Now,
proceed
please,
with that
please,
statement.
Please,
Proceed with that
let me. It's good because we have the document here. We appreciate why we are where we are. If the engineer fails to certify in accordance to sub-clause or that, if the contractor may, after giving not less than 21 days notice to the employer, suspend work unless and until contractor has received the payment reasonable evidence of or reasonable
The document you are reading is any other document
No.
that you have for all the
This is the
contracts.
contract that I signed.
Yeah, that
This
is
is
what
the
you
binding
signed.
document.
That
That is what I
is
signed.
something you have
That's
raised.
what you signed.
Mheshimiwa.
Now on the
Can I
56, on the 56 there,
Yes,
where it's saying within 56 days you should be paid.
yes.
Because it said upon non-payment you stop working.
It doesn't
Yes.
say so.
In this your contract, is there somewhere stating that you are given this contract based on your capacity to perform this work?
Yes,
Is it there?
yes.
So now, when you delay us for 1 year and the government in its budgeting is unable to absorb from your project, and then the money at the end of the financial year is taken somewhere else, then you come back and raise a certificate when then a budget has to be processed. And then you say, because you have raised a certificate, you can now sit and rest and leave us to carry the burden.
Let me ask.
That
Let me
I
ask
have
us.
raised two that have not been
Let me
paid.
ask a simple question.
Not one.
Let me ask a simple question. The certificates you have raised are based on attainment of 2 milestones. One.
They
From
are two
your end,
different
from where you
certificates.
sit. 2 different certificates.
Yes.
Were the milestones realized? Were the milestones attained within the anticipated timelines?
Yes.
No,
Okay,
no,
we don't
no,
have,
no,
okay.
no. Just
Yes,
a minute. I
yes,
know where I'm asking.
The contract says
No. Just answer my question. Yes or no? Were the milestones attained within the stipulated timelines in conformity to the terms and conditions of the contract?
within the program. Yes.
No.
Boss
Just
said
answer
it.
my question.
Said
Yes
it.
or no? You know where I'm taking you to. The government has got a budgetary cycle. Yeah. If you are supposed to undertake a given percentage of a project within a given financial year, as government, we make budgetary provision for it. We expect that you will be able to attain that milestone, yeah, and issue and raise your certificate within the stipulated timelines to enable government absorb the financial outlay which has been allocated to that project. If you are raising the certificate outside the stipulated timelines, it means we are looking for money which was not made a provision, whose provision was not made within that timeline.
This contract is donor funded, and if the payments went
All
to
the
donor,
money is funded by
please.
donors must get into our budget
Budgetary
as a government.
system.
Boss, you will not teach us things that we know. Just talk about your contract.
Please, I'm talking
Where
about this
did you
contract.
come from yourself?
Yeah, I am talking about. The problem is if we inform. If we
You're the
inform.
procurement specialist.
Yeah,
Can
wacha
you-
nikuulize swali moja.
Yeah.
Nikuulize swali moja. When you differ with the supervisor who acts on behalf of the procuring entity, what does that tell us? She is a qualified engineer, a professional. She's not a, no, you're always with her, and I've seen you with her all the time.
Let me
Are you
answer.
telling me that you are not able to agree with her?
Let me answer.
Because as government, because sisi kama serikali, we are going to listen to her more than we will listen to you, because she supervises this project on behalf of government. Now you are contradicting yourself until I'm worried, Chair, whether he knows what he's doing, whether he's hostile, whether what is
Would
it?
you allow me to answer you? These are minutes that was adapted and she signed.
Was it fortunate?
On May?
No.
On May?
No, listen.
And my progress was written for this.
Mheshimiwa, I'll give you the number of Theuri. I happen to know Theuri very well. The owner of Q Construction.
Yes.
I've dealt with this man before.
Yeah. And why is he not here in the first place?
We will find out. He's such a gentleman. So I'm wondering what's happening here. Because if it's 6%, we agree and proceed. And this is why Mheshimiwa is getting unhappy.
But let me ask you another question. Were you here when the president visited this facility?
Yes, I was.
What was the commitment by the contractor?
Finished within
The original timeline.
Yes.
And then now all factors being held constant. How are you doing in relation to that?
Right now we are not doing well because the fine we have not been paid, and that's the truth. And sir, these are minutes adopted and she signed and she came here. The project manager said the project is at 14. When she says 6, you know, sometimes these are minutes and and these minutes were for on May 2nd.
Even if it was 14.
May 2nd, not now, May 2nd. So
No, even if it was at 14%, worst case scenario. Yeah? Against a financial outlay of 20% already paid. There's still a discrepancy. Yes, on this side.
the amount is not, we say it's paid, but it's guaranteed. That is a loan. And in this scenario,
Any loan, I don't want you to tell us about loans. Any loan taken by this government is paid by the citizens back. It's not free. So don't come telling us about
There's
a
no free
loan.
money.
It has to get into budget.
it is not free. Let us understand. You
Yes.
know,
So don't tell us about
sir,
loan. Government has
allow
to
me,
concede
allow me,
and we must pay back.
We must differentiate between paying someone. I don't guarantee any payment because that payment was a guaranteed by performance guarantee. The contract, the employer is saying.
That's a standard practice in procurement.
The other standard practice is if you issue me with a guarantee, I must give, advance money. I must give, because it's a loan, I must give a guarantee equivalent. Such that if I don't pay, you record the guarantee and I get your money back. And that's why it's good to differentiate between payment and advance payment. Advance payment is not a payment. It is
No.
guaranteed money.
It is a payment. It is a payment in advance.
Two,
Just a minute.
Why is
We
it
are not
paid?
payment.
It's paid for purpose of this project.
Yeah, it
Is it paid for you to go and chew the money and eat
No,
and
but I have finished. The work that is here is more than the advance and mobilization.
Maybe I've been here as a county government.
Yeah.
Even when the president was saying we were here, this company is not progressing.
Yeah.
And you see,
They're actually stalling the project.
yeah, they're actually stalling, and you can hear his
You can
argument.
see the attitude.
And you see, the more you stay idle, the more losses you incur. Idle machine, idle workforce, idle everything. Simple mathematics, simple calculation.
Yes, I have skill here. I don't have cash flow because I'm not doing it. How do I work? That is enough, Steve. We can go there and see. We have cement in this site, but we cannot be able to maintain the labor because of cash flow. And the cash flow is I raise at least.
Let me ask. Let me just ask. Okay.
I have not been paid.
Let me ask you.
That is the
Let me
truth.
ask you a question now.
That is the truth.
When you received the advance pay,
Yes.
it was not based on performance, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was not based on performance.
Okay. If you are really as a contractor, you are a customer to government. What stops you also from making progress on the assignment? Yeah, as you wait for payment. We did pay you advance payment because what the guarantee is paper. It's paper. You are not guaranteeing against money. You are guaranteeing against paper from the bank. Okay. What stops you from making progress on the assignment as you wait to be paid? All factors being held constant, because what you are trying to tell me, the summation of it all is that you didn't have the capacity to undertake this project from a financial perspective from the onset. And maybe we made a mistake to award you the contract. You didn't have the capacity. You didn't have the because you proved your financial capacity.
We have raised two certificates. The first one, even when the first one was not paid, we continue working until we raise the second one.
When we head out of here, we have to go to the headquarters, which came later than this, and see where it is.
Yeah.
It's a matter of capacity. It's a matter of capacity.
So how
You
much
know, we have been inspecting projects. Even yesterday, we inspected a project, a bridge which has been fully done by the contractor and has not been paid.
Yes. You know,
a single cent.
Yes. Out 9 months. I mean, how many months?
3 months. The project timeline was 9 months. He's completed it within 3 months.
It's being used.
So you have a capacity issue, financial or otherwise. You have a capacity issue, and maybe you are the wrong contractor to be onboarded on this project.
And
maybe
now,
maybe now, as opposed to being a hostile customer, we need to explore the possibility of getting an exit out of this contract.
So can I explain about the capacity? Q has finished in Kisii 50-kilometer roads handed over last year. I don't want to bring those issues because they are also.
But I guess not with this kind of argument.
Please, no, I'm not. That's why I have restrained myself from not bringing issues of other authorities to Ministry of Health. But for the same government, they are pending bills for a project we finish 50 kilometers, Kenyanya, Mugonga, all that, and we handed over. So when we focus on here again, when we raise the first certificate
of how much?
Of about 100 million, it delayed payment. We continue working. We raised the second one.
And the first one was paid?
No. Okay. The first one was not paid.
You raised the second.
We continue working. We raised the second one. Now it is under evaluation. Until that point, now the contractor has trained him to the upper limit. Because
so your certificate is under evaluation.
Yes.
When all the processes are done, you are ordinarily supposed to be paid.
Yes.
Okay? Yes. And I can confirm to you from where the boss is with this laptop there, that this has a provision of 1 billion that is lying idle. Right? Number two, you understand, or you may be in a position to understand, that even the donors have financial circles, and you will stretch us out of that agreement that Treasury has with the donors. That you are also aware. Now, as your certificate is undergoing approvals and evaluations, why can't you continue working? And definitely, the money is going to be paid. Why can't you continue?
And he knows that.
Even if we want, allow me to give you a single scenario. As a father or as a household, you have suppliers. One supplier is supplying you with.
You lack the capacity. Just be very clear. I
lack
the financial capacity.
We
have other capacities to continue. Full stop. That is what you are saying.
That the government in other authority has owed us 500 million.
That is
So
not
we have
That's
that
not
capacity.
that's not the
Leave
issue.
alone this one elsewhere.
Well, Kim,
Those are
That is the
standalone
truth.
projects.
are you yourself today?
No, that is the truth. You know, sometimes if I
Every
want
project is managed as a
Mkubwa sikusikia hapo juu boss yako.
ni ukweli. Nataka mkubwa
Are you
akienda.
here to sabotage this program, or you are here to build this program, boss? Because you are just out of order, complete.
No, allow me to speak. If, for example, we want to accelerate the project,
Yes.
let us pay, because we are not bringing other issues from other countries.
Fine.
If we bring other issues,
You
we
need-
would say
you need-
the current government owes us 700.
You need to be paid.
Would we go there? No.
Boss.
We want.
Boss, you need to be paid, and you must be paid. That's not in question.
But I'm told also
Listen.
there's a variation based on your certification, the value of your certificate and the assessment.
That is what delayed.
That's what they did the payment.
Yes, definitely. There is a disagreement between the engineer's percentage and his percentage. That is what I started with.
The beauty is,
And you are better off being in good relationship with your
It's okay.
supervisor.
It's okay.
So that
It's
you
okay.
get it right.
actually my supervisor and the QS from even the public works approved the work. If the Ministry of Public Works has
You know
approved
the
main-
role of the project engineer who is a resident. You know the role.
Yes, sorry, my name is Dr. Mari. I'm the project implementation coordinator.
You are
And actually, Dr. Mari,
the project what?
implementation coordinator. Yeah, I'm a traditional oncologist in Kisii County. We have been having meetings on this project, and as they rightly said, there are different contractors, and some of the contractors they are not being awarded. But we have been having issues with the percentage of the main contract from the resident engineer and the contractor. And it's something that the last meeting we resolved because the percentage that have been going to the House and the Ministry of Health has been different, varying. So we agreed from the last minute that we are going to coordinate from the engineer and the consultant and the contractor, so that going forward, this payment is not delayed, because that was the reason for the delay of the payment. But overall, from the engineer and the consultant, actually the main contract is around 14% for the main contractor. Overall, it was around 6%. So that's the discrepancy. That was
6, but for the main
for the contractor. Yes.
Exactly what was stated here is what you're stating. Yeah?
Yes.
So you are Yes. We are not impressed at all as government with the progress on this particular project. We have consulted with the ministry. We have interrogated the contract that was entered into. There are issues which are emerging. One, the contractor was given a down payment of 20% of the project value. The overall progress of the contract is at 6% of the project. Yeah, it's at 6%. So there's a discrepancy. Okay. Now, the contractor himself says that there are certain certificates he has raised which have not been settled. But the government pays on the basis of certified certificates. That means there has to be alignment between, in terms of value and milestone attained, between the contractor, the project coordinator, and the project manager, the resident engineer, and the project manager. Yeah. So the government can only pay based on certified certificate. And what is the basis of certification? Certification, one, is in conformity to the terms and conditions of the contract, is in conformity to whether or not the milestones have been achieved as was envisaged and subsequently entailed in the what? In the contract. I think that's where the difference is, that we don't have a certified certificate pending with government. On the side of government, our greatest concern is that we have already given out a down payment of 20%, and the project overall is only at 6%. The contractor himself seems not to be enthusiastic about coming up with an amicable work plan on the way forward. He's making his argument on the basis of a certificate that has not been certified. Another thing, when you are engaged by any procuring entity, it is tied to a given timeline, and that project is also tied to a budgetary cycle. If I make financial provision as if we make financial provision as government for a given project, we have to absorb that money within a given period of time. And the government has got its own budgetary cycle. So if certain milestones are to be attained within a given financial year, we expect that the contractor will attain the requisite milestones, issue certificates within those timelines to enable government to make the payments, and that informs the project absorption rate. Here we are now, we have a few days to the end of the financial year. We have a budgetary provision of 1 billion shillings on this project between now and the end of the financial year. How is government going to absorb that money if the payment is not made? Are you getting where we are coming from? Yeah? Within the next few days, which certificates will the contractor raise to the tune of Kenya shillings, 1 billion shillings, to enable the government to make the necessary payment? So the long and short of it is that the assessment that we have made here today, the conclusion we are drawing is that we got into a contract with a contractor who did not have the capacity to execute this project. And the recommendation that we are going to recommend is that we blacklist this contractor. And when you are blacklisted, it means you are debarred from taking part in other government projects moving into the future. But again, also, on the flip side of it, if you receive money from government and you don't meet your part of the obligations, again, we will explore other ways and means of getting the government to recover the money. It's as simple as that. Within the law.
What is the timeline of this project?
The project was supposed to have started in 2024 August, and then?
Supposed to end in 2026 February.
2026 February. As we speak, we have already eaten into 50%, over 50% of the project timeline. Yet the project progress rate is at 6%. How do we account for that discrepancy? Whatever you do, it doesn't need rocket science for you to realize that we will not be able to complete this project within the stipulated timelines. And if we don't absorb that money, then we'll also have, on the flip side of it, issues with the donors. It is the government that will be failing to absorb the money. The donors will not be concerned about the contractor. Yeah? And we are here dealing with a contractor who is very hostile. We did issue instructions yesterday that the contractor himself should be here on site. He has deliberately decided not to come, and as opposed to that, he has sent a representative because he knows very well that His Excellency the President himself had visited this project, and he did commit to make fundamental progress on the project, and he has failed to do so. So we are going to make the relevant recommendations to all the relevant arms of government with respect to this project, including but not limited to recommending the blacklisting of this contractor. Any other questions?
Have you also inspecting other projects?
Oh yes, we have been here since yesterday. Give me my iPad. Where's my iPad? We have been here since yesterday. We are inspecting and verifying the status of implementation of various government projects. We did start with the Kisii bypass phase 2. The implementing agency of that project is Kura. Yeah? This involves upgrading of up to 14.2 million kilometers of road to bitumen standards. The project cost is 846,921,000. This project is at 32% completion rate. We envisage that the project will be undertaken within the envisaged timelines, and this will have a major impact because it will improve connection between Kisii and Nyamira counties, more so on the stretch from Kegati to Omogon Choro. That will facilitate trade between the market centers along that road. We also visited the affordable housing project at Nyaribari Masaba, being implemented by the State Department for Housing. The scope is 240 units of housing, entailing 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, studio, and single rooms. This project is to the tune of 722 million shillings. We are at 13%, and all factors being held constant, because we don't have any challenges with this affordable housing project, including the financing. We are advising that this project will be completed within the stipulated timelines. The impact will be one, job creation for the youth who are employed on the projects. Two, affordability of housing by the residents of the region. Yeah? We are moving away from the traditional approach of building homes in ancestral lands to moving into these affordable housing units in centralized locations. And this, if pursued to a logical conclusion, will also help us sort out the unplanned infrastructure development within Kisii town and its environs. We did also visit a cold storage facility for avocado and other horticultural crops. The project cost is at 91 million shillings. It's located in Nyaribari, Masaba. And this has a provision for 8 cold rooms, and it will also complement now the ESP markets, which the government is rolling out in partnership, the national government is rolling out in partnership with the county governments. A classical case of a project we visited yesterday is the Nyamache Bridge. This is being undertaken by a contractor in the name of Plaxi Enterprises Limited. The project cost is 19 million shillings. It was envisioned that this project was going to take 9 months. The contractor has undertaken this project in a record 3 months. Yet the contractor has not yet received any payment from what? From government. This is a typical case of a serious contractor with capacity to execute government what? Government projects. And these are the type of contractors that we really need to consider for repeat jobs moving into the future. We did visit another road. This is the Omo Ringangu, Kenyenya, Mutonto, Mesel Tabaka, Boyancha road in Bomachoge. The project cost is 3 billion shillings. It is currently at 77% completion rate. That is about 60 kilometers of blacktop road infrastructure already laid, and it will facilitate farmers and business persons by enabling efficient movements of goods and services within Bomachoge. The other road we have visited is the Nyasembe Mogonya, Nyasembe Etago Kenyenya road, being undertaken by the national government through KERA at a cost of 759 million shillings. This road is 100% complete. It connects both South Migrango and Bomachoge Borabu constituencies, and we envisaged that we will undertake official commissioning of this project in the not too distant future. Another housing project which we have visited is the ESP market at Etago, being implemented by the State Department of Housing and Urban Development at a cost of 56 million shillings. This is going to provide adequate facilities for itinerary traders, also our mothers and sisters involved in that space, and the youth for purposes of trade. It will also create jobs and market for our youth who are in the Juakali sector in terms of supply of windows and steel doors and so on and so forth. We have again inspected and verified the status of Rio Siri, Esoko, Ikoba, Stores Loop Roads being implemented by KERA at a cost of 740 million. The project implementation rate is at 65%. It will improve accessibility within South Migrango constituency. We also did visit Kisii University yesterday. The national government, through the State Department of Higher Education, is implementing there an amphitheater. There's also an ICT center of excellence, and as well as a tuition block. The tuition block is going for being employed at 534 million, the lecture theater at 527 million shillings, and the ICT center at 984 million shillings. These projects are near completion, or on average about 90 to 97% completion levels. The outlying financial provision which is necessary to complete these projects has been provided for within the coming financial year next month, and we should be able to get done and dusted with these projects in the next couple of months or so. We have also inspected the maintenance of the Metembe, Owalo, Rioma, Mbandangenyi, and Bobaricho, Gesieka, Nyaori, Marani roads. This is within Kitutu Chache North constituencies. The project value is 4.4 billion shillings. It is currently at 25% status level, and the contractor is on site and work is ongoing. And then unfortunately, we have wound up our project inspection at this cancer center, where we have encountered an uncooperative contractor who does not have the requisite capacity, and the conclusion we are drawing is that perhaps it's high time the government reviewed its relationship with this contractor and even explored the possibility of getting an exit clause out of that contract, and also recommending the blacklisting of the contractor for purposes of being debarred from undertaking government projects in the future.
Thank you.